Tiling Steve is gone, 3D Steve is back. Hi, I'm Steve from 123D. Today we are going to be doing a revisit of the K2 Plus. So we've put the machine heavily through its paces. We have printed a whole host of different materials in multicolour and single colour just to see what the machine actually performed like, and overall very well. Some of the material types that we have printed are as follows. We have printed some replacement skirts for the Voron in multicolour. They were all printed in ABS. They printed absolutely perfectly. We have printed some ASA CF, so some carbon fibre infused ASA filament. Again, absolutely perfectly. Tolerances worked out perfect. There wasn't any trouble with warping or anything like that, and I would pretty much put that down to the active chamber temperature. Proves to work very, very well when printing with ABS and ASA. We've also printed this glorious Spartan helmet in gold filament with a nice red mohawk. Currently on the machine, while we are filming, we are printing some custom parts for an up and coming project that we are working on. I shan't go into too much detail on that just now, because there will be a video released later on with a build along for that project. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do, because otherwise you will miss out. So I shall go over a few key stats for the machine. We have a build volume of 350mm cubed. So that is left to right, front to back and height. We then have a maximum print speed of 600mm a second. This is the absolute maximum print speed for the machine. We don't recommend that you print at that speed. We always suggest 300mm a second, because that way you will maintain quality and it will just increase the longevity of the machine overall. The machine is also equipped with a dual gear direct drive extruder. The nozzle temperature can reach 350 degrees C and the bed can reach 120 degrees C. So again, ideal for those more exotic filaments if you wanted to print, you know, different kinds of material other than PLA, PETG. This machine will print pretty much whatever you want to put through it. You do have the scope to add 4 CFS units, which will give you 16 colour printing, if that's what floats your boat. Daisy chain them into each other, 4 of these together, and they will all run into the buffer unit where you have 4 ports for your PTFE tubes, and that will feed all of those 16 marvellous colours into the extruder. There wasn't really much to assemble with the machine. We fitted the spool holder, the actual CFS buffer unit to the back of the machine, plugged in all the wires and whatever else, attached the screen, and I think that was pretty much it. And if you haven't seen the unboxing video, please do check out the link in the description so you can skip back, watch it over so you know what actually is entailed. The machine is a pallet delivery machine. The box does very clearly state 2-man lift. I think off the top of my head it's around 45 kilograms ish, thereabouts. Please bear in mind that it will take 2 of you to probably unpack it and lift it out of the box and locate it where you are going to house it, because it is a heavy old beast. Firmware and screen. So we're currently running on the latest version of firmware. We haven't updated the firmware, but on checking it is on the current latest version. The machine is very well equipped with things like filament runout sensors, tangle detection. So if there is any issues feeding filament from the CFS unit to the machine will pause, let you know, you address the problem, hit resume, and it will carry on printing. You also have the capability to do automatic filament changing. Now, if you've got multiple spools sat in the CFS unit, they're all partial spools, for instance, you can actually set the machine up to use each of them in turn as one runs out. I have been tipped off by Chris that to do that you need to basically trick the machine into thinking that they are all the same colour. Otherwise the function does not work. So even if you've got mixed colour in there, provided you tell the slicer or the actual printer that they're all black, they'll swap over. No issue. You also have on the side of the machine an RFID tag reader. So for Creality's own filament, you can actually scan it and it'll work, because it'll pick up the settings, the optimal temperature, the material type, and all of that stuff. That being said, we've really tried a lot of filaments through the machine, especially our own brand filament, and it prints exceptionally well on the generic PLA profile. And for ASA and ABS, all I've done with those is use the generic profiles again. I haven't really had to tweak anything. You can print with the machine over Wi-Fi or via the USB port. So the USB port for the machine is actually located here on the side. You've got a nice little rubber plug to plug up the hole so you don't get it clogged up with any gunk. Print quality and slicing. So there is profiles made for the machine now in Orca Slicer and also Creality Print. So you have a pretty wide choice. Both slicers work really well. Orca Slicer is currently being worked on to improve the actual machine profile. We've got absolutely no issues with that whatsoever. The print quality, as I've already said before, I mean, for these Voron parts for the actual gantry, and they are keyed so they fit together, and the tolerances are perfect. I mean, they are snug. There's no movement where there shouldn't be. There's no play where the actual keyway fits together. Nice snug fit. So that would lead me to believe that the tolerances for this machine as stock are pretty damned perfect. So we have no criticisms there. Again, this was printed in multi-parts and everything fits together exactly how it should do. It produced really nice prints, to be fair. I mean, that is a prime example in a nice silk and gold PLA. If you were going to get any real ringing or anything else, this would probably be the material that would highlight it quite well. And there isn't really much at all to see on it, apart from the detail that should be there, obviously.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Pros and cons for the machine. Right, so I will start off with the pros. If you want a machine that is pretty much plug and play, that has a big build volume, that is capable of printing multicolour, or any other of the more exotic type materials like carbon fibre, the machine will do it. It comes stock fitted with a hardened steel nozzle, so you can put those filaments straight through without having to upgrade anything. It is all metal hot end, so you don't have any concerns there. The print quality and the speed on par with pretty much anything else that's currently on the market to this date. And the usability of it, very simple. The UI is very intuitive, easy to use. They have added features like you've got active carbon filtering, you've got the heated chamber, you've got the RFID chip. You can even run single spools off the side mount if you don't want to use a CFS unit for any reason. So if you're going to print TPU or TPE, this would be the way that you would load that filament into the machine, not through the CFS unit. Cons, it's big, so you're going to have room to house it, and you want something solid to house it on. This table is not a prime example of that. You want something that's very rigid, where it doesn't have a lot of vibration or wobble, because that will show through your prints. If you imagine that the height is accentuated and you've got wobble, that will cause ghosting in your print quality. So you will notice a vast improvement if you've got it on a very solid surface. We will add photos and footage of all the other things that we've printed, so you can get a better idea of what the machine is actually capable of. Final verdict on this machine. I would say this machine is more on the advanced hobbyist to small business user. The reason I say that is because of the price. It's not a cheap machine. Certainly this wouldn't be within your budget to go and buy your teenager who's at school doing design technology. But if you're an experienced user who already knows that you just need another large scale printer to your arsenal, then definitely it's a worthy investment. Again, small businesses, this would do ideal for batch production, Etsy sellers, rapid prototyping, that type of thing. This machine would be ideally suited for those applications. I don't really think there is much more for me to add. My impressions for a revisit on this machine is it does exactly what it's supposed to do, and it's a very capable machine. If you haven't already, checked out the link in the description for our website 1233d.co.uk. If you are interested in this machine or any other machine, filament, accessories, or anything 3D printed or CNC related, please check out the website. If you have any questions regarding this machine or any other machine, please drop it in the comments box below and we'll do our utmost to answer you as quickly as we possibly can. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you haven't already shared the video, please share it as well, because that helps us bump up in the algorithm. On that fine note, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I'm gonna sign off. That's it from me. Goodbye for now, and we will see you on the next one.
As always, we aim to have the most competitive 3D printer prices on the market. If you see any of our printers being sold by a mainstream retailer for less, please drop us an email using the link in the description and we'll do our very best to beat their price. Also, if you're watching from outside the UK, check the description for links to our European 123 3D sister stores.